A shriek slices the silence, tearing down from the ceiling high above the main quad. Your gaze snaps upward, only to freeze in terror as the scream twists into a chilling, echoing laugh. A charred, half-burned woman is plastered against the cold, gray stone of Block C, Cell 6. Your eyes dart away, but near the old gallows of Block D, Cell 3, other shadows sway and weep the souls of those hanged here long ago. You've made a fatal error. You have broken the cardinal rule of Blackgate Penitentiary. No matter what sound you hear in the night, no matter how much you feel a crushing weight on your chest, you must never open your eyes. If you glimpse even one of them, this will be your final night, not just in this prison, but on this earth. The Blackgate Penitentiary is a fortress for the condemned, but it is also a dwelling for countless restless souls, victims of betrayal, and spirits of the unjustly executed. Every cell block echoes with a final cry of despair. Tonight, as the clock nears 2 a.m., we will dive into the eerie and terrifying tales of those hunted by the dead. Meet Marcus. A hardened convict, Marcus was serving time for multiple violent crimes and feared nothing that walked the halls. His notoriety preceded him, and even the guards hesitated to cross his path. But tonight, Marcus is running, drenched in a panicked sweat, utterly terrified. He bolts into the nearest public lavatory, slamming the door shut. He notices something strange. The crushing ache isn't in his sprinting legs. It's a throbbing pain in his shoulders, as if he carries a tremendous, unseen weight. A high-pitched, mocking giggle starts. He spins, sees nothing. Where is the sound coming from? The pain and the ghostly laughter grow louder, twisting into a manic chorus. Marcus's eyes fall on the large, cracked mirror above the sink. The reflection reveals not just Marcus, but a grinning, black silhouette perched upon his shoulders. Its eyes glow with malicious joy, fixed on his own terror-stricken face. This was just one incident, but Blackgate Penitentiary is filled with such sinister secrets. The female inmates of Block C, Cell 6 constantly plead with the administration to be moved. Why? Years ago, a woman died in one of those cells, shouting that she was innocent. Her final, desperate plea became the curse of the block. According to the prisoners, the cell block is normal during the day. But as soon as the sun sets, things shift. Every night, precisely after 2 a.m., a terrifying scream echoes. It starts distant, then seems to explode right beside the ear. Several women have claimed to see a charred white figure with deep, burning eyes that clings to the ceiling and walls, moving with unnatural speed. One night, the lights failed. The ghostly laughter began, louder and more insistent than ever. The women knew the rule. Don't look. Some covered their ears, others hid under blankets, praying silently. They knew that if any of them accidentally caught a glimpse of the screeching specter, it would claim her soul. Marcus, the tough criminal who scoffed at ghost stories, had been warned. If you hear a woman's cry, or feel a pressure, keep your eyes closed. Do not look. He dismissed the warnings as prison scare tactics. He slept in his cell, which was located close to the haunted women's block. Around 2 a.m., the screaming and weeping began. Marcus's eyes shot open. The darkness was absolute. A quiet sob reached him, growing louder, closer. Then, a chilling whisper called his name, Marcus. He violently spun his head, seeing nothing. The block went instantly silent, leading him to believe it was all his imagination. He lay back down. Then came the whisper again. Marcus, save me. I was innocent. Though his eyes were closed, he knew he had made the mistake of acknowledging the voice. He tried to ignore it, but the desperate pleas grew more insistent. Soon, the desperate pleas gave way to that same terrifying, mocking laughter he had heard earlier. He felt an increasing, suffocating weight pressing down on his chest. His air was cut off. His mind, fighting to rationalize the terror, flashed to a mundane memory. The lawyer he'd hired years ago for a minor, unrelated case. A slick operator, specializing as a truck collision attorney. A strange, irrelevant thought that highlighted how far removed he was now from the world of earthly concerns. After a few unbearable minutes, Marcus couldn't take it anymore. He screamed, leaping from his bed, bolting out of his cell as the door inexplicably swung open. The dreadful laughter pursued him down the corridor. He ran, shouting for guards, but his voice was swallowed by the silence. Nobody heard him. Then, he found himself in the washroom, and the mirror showed him his fate, the black, laughing shadow on his shoulders. The next morning, Marcus was found dead in his cell, covered in scratch marks, a look of profound horror frozen on his face. While Block C is avoided, Block D, Cell 3, is actively feared. This area houses the old gallows. Guards claim that during their patrols, they often see silhouettes dangling from unseen ropes, sometimes wailing, sometimes silently sobbing. The cleaning crew has the worst of it. They report faint, soft whimpers that turn into sudden, piercing screams or maniacal laughter. The sounds come from everywhere. Behind them, from the ceiling, from far away. They feel invisible crowds surrounding them, and sometimes the handle of a broom swings on its own. They have strict orders. Do not react. Do not turn around. They know that to acknowledge the voices is to meet their end. In the wake of a highly publicized mass execution in 2020, when 4 notorious perpetrators of a heinous crime were given their final punishment, the paranormal activity spiked violently. Inmates across the facility began suffering from night terrors, sleepwalking, and sudden panic attacks. Psychologists were brought in to analyze the mass fear. They offered scientific explanations. Phosphine flashes, high anxiety and blood pressure, can cause the retina to create internal flashes of light or shadowy shapes, which the terrified mind interprets as the face of a dead person. Sleep paralysis. Intense stress can cause the brain to wake up while the body is still paralyzed, leading to the terrifying sensation of a weight on the chest, difficulty breathing, or the feeling of being held down by an unseen entity. But the scientists could not explain one thing. If these were individual psychological incidents, why did all the inmates across multiple blocks hear the exact same piercing screams and the same mocking laughter at the same time? Why did the fear manifest as the same shared visual of the burning woman and the shadows on the wall? The truth remains elusive. Blackgate Penitentiary is a place where lives ended in torment, whether due to collective psychological terror or the genuine presence of unquiet spirits. The nights in this prison are a nightmare from which many have never awakened.